I bought this lens in August 2023 for my Lumix S1R. It has proven to be more indispensable than I thought it would be. The lens design itself reminds me of the Panasonic 8-18mm f2.8 to 4. Basically, they have the same base design concept, but with a different implementation of texture, material, and the feel. While the Panasonic 8-18 has a full metal build, even the zoom and focus rings are fully metal. It feels cold to the touch. The Lumix 14-28 goes with a plastic body to minimize the weight, and it has very nice rubberized focus and zoom ring that provide a very comfortable grip. Both builds are fantastic in their own ways, and I don't particularly favor one design over the other. The Lumix 14-28 also features a sneaky Leica-like font for the markings. Very similar style but not exactly the same. Given the intimate collaborative relationship between Panasonic and Leica, I wouldn't be surprised if Leica has a hand in the design in these full-frame Lumix lenses in some way. The Lumix 14-28 weighs only 345 grams, just 30 grams heavier than the Micro Four Thirds counterpart Panasonic 8-18, and it is also only just a little thicker and marginally taller than the 8-18 lens, perfectly in line with Panasonic's mid-range lens design philosophy. From their super zoom to f1.8 prime lenses, every single one of them is made to be compact and lightweight. As an S1R user, I actually really like the small size of the lenses because the camera body itself is already monstrously large and heavy. Having a lightweight kit really helps reduce the physical burden. The focal range is a big selling point of this lens. It goes as wide as 14mm, a true beast in ultra-wide-angle world. Most people are more accustomed to 16mm being the widest focal length in their kit, but I think 14mm is definitely worth a try. The 2mm difference in wide angle makes a pretty huge difference. In my opinion, given the medium price point of this lens, the 14mm becomes extra appealing. On the long end, it goes only to 28mm instead of traditionally 35mm for ultra-wide zoom lenses, but it's understandable for keeping the lens size to a minimum. On my S1R, I can easily crop a 47MP image at 28mm down to 40mm field of view and still have 24MP resolution left, so I'm not bothered by the 28mm at all. The aperture varies from f4 to f5.6 throughout the focal range, which could be annoying for video makers, but in my opinion it doesn't matter as much as it would on a standard zoom lens because the super wide field of view makes the depth of field difference practically unnoticeable, and the loss of light is only one stop. And for the most of the time when I'm using this lens, I shoot well beyond f5.6 anyway. f4 is by no means impressive, but it's decent enough. The variable aperture for me is completely forgivable compromise. I never even think about this aperture most of the time. It's why I had to look it up when I make this review. Again, for the sake of compactness, an absolute correct compromise by Panasonic. Panasonic has never disappointed us in the image quality department when it comes to their L-mount lenses. The 14-28 is one of many such shining examples. In terms of sharpness, it is impeccable. Perfectly suitable for landscape photography, perhaps even on a 61MP sensor cameras, which I don't own. But on the S1R, it definitely makes good use of every single one of those 47MP. From wide open aperture to the corner of the lens, I have never seen any weakness of the sharpness. It just seems perfectly sharp. As a semi-macro lens, the 14-28 has a reproduction ratio of 1:2 or 0.5 times magnification, allows you to focus as close as 15mm. That's closer than all my other micro four thirds lenses. I don't do macro shots often, but it's nice to have a lens that can shoot super close up when you need to. Being dust, splash, and freeze resistant makes a very robust combo on the S1R or any Lumix cameras really. Personally, I shoot a lot of tennis videos with it, and we have clay court here, and when it's dry, the dirt will fly all over the place, and it's important to have a lens that won't be compromised by such a hostile environment. It is a €800 lens, not cheap by any means, but definitely worth every penny that you spend. On second-hand market, you can find it around €600. It makes it a very compelling choice for ultra-wide-angle zoom lens. Ultra-wide zoom lenses are not like standard lenses. It's not like 35mm or 50mm that you can use for almost any situation. Ultra-wide has a more niche application compared to those readily available standard lenses. And it is harder to frame an ultra-wide image, harder to put emphasis on the subject. To be honest, I don't shoot with this lens nearly as often as other lenses, but when the time comes, I am really glad that I have the option to get an incredible super wide panoramic view with a one single click. In terms of its features, it's not an artistic lens by any means, but it is extremely practical for what it is made for. I use it for landscape, group portraiture, documentary style video making, tennis match recording. And if you put it on the S5 Mark II, it becomes an excellent, lightweight, super wide-angle vlogging lens. It's a lens that I don't use on a daily basis, but I know I'd miss it if I didn't have it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.